Welcome to Pull My Focus Adventures in the World of Digital Filmmaking. Our live...
Wait. We have to slate. We didn't slate. You said we have to slate all the time. Hold on. Okay.
Frank, this is a live...
That's right. This live stream, April 2018. Shot one, take one. Oh, I did it. Miss slate. I screwed up.
You
okay.
happy?
Yes.
We slated a live
Are you
stream.
happy? Because he always complains.
I'm never happy.
That I don't slate right at the beginning. Okay, take over. Where were you? What were you saying?
I'm still researching the video on slating.
Oh.
Although Rocket Jump School did a great video on slating.
They did a very good one.
Yeah.
Can we, how do we see who's here? Anyone here yet?
Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Kyle Roberts is here.
All right. Hey, Kyle.
What up, Kyle? You know
Is
Kyle?
No, but I'm going to pretend like I do. Is Yo Y-O or Y-O-H?
No, Y-O.
In Brooklyn, we would say Yo.
Y-O, Y-O. Well, okay, welcome to our second live stream we've ever done. And the second one, number one, started on time. Number two, hopefully it looks good. Hopefully you hear us. Kyle, if you can hear us, let us know. Hopefully the audio is good. We're going to air this later, so it has to be good. And all that's thanks to Rodney.
Thanks again, Rodney.
Rodney has an awesome channel. Let's see. What are we talking about? We should start with some of our stuff.
We'll do.
Oh, gosh, I forgot.
What? Do we wait for more people or?
No, we just go.
Okay.
We just go. We're shooting it live, but it's taped for broadcast.
That's right.
And we'll see if Kyle has anything he wants to ask. But we have Christian's
awesome.
here.
Hey, Christian. Woohoo. Christian Pierre, the guy who he's so good he gets 2 first names.
That's right.
He's like.
I for some reason thought his name was Christian Saint Pierre, but it's not.
Maybe it was, and he took it out. We're gonna have to dig with Christian because every time we hang out with him, we find out something new. He's super mysterious.
You act like we hang out with him a lot.
We do. Well, now and then when we get the chance, because it's like.
So what's our big news?
So
before we get into questions from the audience, we have some big news, some big exciting news.
I'm excited. So
it's exciting for us. So this is the best. I called my mom to tell her this news.
Yeah.
And I told her this news. I says, Mom, I have exciting news for you. And after I was done, she goes, well, that's great. That's exciting for you. Not so much for me, but it's great news, son. Thank you.
So the news is we started a Patreon.
Patreon!
Woo!
Does anybody know what Patreon is? Raise your hand.
All right. Okay. Very good. Okay. Very good.
I think everybody knows what Patreon is. But in case you don't know what Patreon is a way to for you to give to support creators that you love. And it's not just YouTube creators. Even though tons of YouTube creators, use Patreon as a site for receiving support, financial support, not like any other kind of support. But doesn't the guy that does the comics have a Patreon account? No, he doesn't.
Which guy?
The guy who does All About Comics or like How to Draw Comics?
Oh, I don't think so. No, but there's a lot of comic people who use Patreon. But basically, you donate, you give a certain amount every month to them, and it can be $1,
right,
$2.50 and up. I'm actually a patron for people. I was one for an independent comic called Demon that was amazing. Mm-hmm. That came out from a comic artist here in Oakland, got written up in New York Times and other places, and I think it was like 18 months, and like I treasured getting the print one and the PDF.
And I support. Oh, all my favorite podcasts have Patreon. Yeah, exactly. Podcasts. So podcasts are huge because there's like no way to monetize a podcast. Like on YouTube, maybe you'll get some ad revenue, but podcasts. I also support a couple of creators on Patreon. We also have another swing site that has its own separate Patreon. It's a whole different world from what we're doing here at PMF.
Lindy Hop.
Lindy Hop.
Swing dancing.
So anyway, if you would like to help support us, I think we've already got a bunch of patrons, which is really cool. If you'd like to help support us, go to patreon.com/ and I actually didn't put it in the description. We'll put it in the description later. patreon.com/pullmyfocus. And yeah,
And we already have 16.
We already have, well, as of this recording, now we have 18. So
wow. Okay.
When you watch it later, there'll be like thousands.
Yeah.
So
Tens
of
just
thousands
like on YouTube.
of supporters. Just like on YouTube, right?
I think it's going to take a little while. Yeah.
But we have some nice rewards for you guys. And oh, speaking of which, one of the tiers of rewards gives you what, Frank? And you tell them what else
we get shout outs. Which one are we talking about? Oh, yes. So one of the shout outs is that not one of the shout outs. And so one of the tiers on the Patreon is that you get discounts to our Udemy courses, which we're working on. And it's part of the reason. One of the things we're going to start doing is, we've been doing a Pull My Focus every week.
For 70 weeks as of this recording.
We have 70 videos. And so it's been a year, not a year and a half yet, but a year and 3-4 months. So we've been doing it every week. We're gonna actually switch to doing it every 2 weeks because the workload, it's a lot of work for the style that we do on YouTube, and we'd rather keep going, but with 4. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2. We'll have a few extra now and then, but that's because we're working on Udemy courses, paid courses on Udemy, and also probably on Skillshare. And we'll also sell some right directly on our site. And those are going to be more in-depth courses that are very step-by-step, like Manu's step-by-step on color correcting and whatnot. He's working on one now on audio.
Yeah, I'm doing basically what I don't see anywhere on Udemy is a audio for Premiere Pro users. And it's a course specifically geared towards, you got your timeline, you got the video on top, it's everything below the video, which is all the audio that really doesn't get any love. It's like 50-50, right? You got everybody goes to the video stuff and they go, oh, color correction, da 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 da, and then they drop on a bit of music and they're done. And it's like, no, there's a lot more work to audio. So I think it's 10 chapters, each dealing with a specific type of audio, whether it be dialogue, whether it be ambient sound, whether it be music or sound effects. So I go in deep on each one. I also give you a deep dive on how to use the Essential Sound Panel. We talk a little bit about what shape your audio should be in before you bring it into Premiere. A bunch of that stuff. I'm almost done. I'm like halfway done.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but
Udemy course. So a Udemy course is going to be at least an hour and a half. So that's like 8 to 10 to 12. Pull My Focus episodes. That's a lot.
Everything is measured in Pull My Focus episodes for us now.
It's a bit. So that's what's going on over here, and we're looking at other things like setting up a scheduling system. Like at times we have people asking a lot of questions, so we might start doing consulting or schedule. Like you could schedule a half hour with one of us or an hour, or whatever you need to either, give you very specific custom training about something you're trying to figure out, like whether it's something with editing, with Premiere, or with lighting, or production, pre-production, whatever it is, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So
is that it for the announcements?
Yeah, I think that's it for the announcements. So we'll also announce it since Christian's here. Actually, if you can, I just want to see who else comes in.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say that we just finished a project we did with Christian that he produced for a sort of promotion for Napa Valley to sort of come back to Napa because of the fires, and it was sort of led by a celebrity chef, Rogelio Garcia, who was on Top Chef this season that ended, I think, in March.
Yep.
He made it up to the 3rd episode, and so we shot it up at the first restaurant he was the head chef at, which was Angel up in Napa, and so we'll chat with Christian later about when we know that's going to go live for other people to see and stuff like. It's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
The video itself.
The Napa Angel video.
The Napa video. I think it's about minute 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was fun. It was fun to shoot. We got to eat some yummy food.
Well, can we stay? Yeah, just so I can see if anyone has a question. All right.
No questions yet.
Okay, so we're gonna go into oh, wait, I'm getting it.
I like your text sound. It's the most hilarious text sound. Oh boy.
E-intro for what?
We're getting.
This is old business partner of mine, Tom Donnelly.
We're actually getting solicited for work as we're doing our live.
Is it a gig? No. What is he saying? No, he's going to give us something.
Oh boy.
I've got a good e-intro. I'm going to make. Oh, he's going to make an email introduction to. Thank you. So it's live. Like, hey, you know what, guys? Thanks. We got to go. We got to go.
That always happens. No, we can't get a gig right now. We have to finish the live stream. So.
Okay, it's awesome. So,
I'm going to look through some of my stuff. You have something that you want to address.
I do, yeah.
Somebody brought up something with one of our recent videos.
Yeah, so Martin, Martin, who is usually one of the first to comment on our videos. So he had a question on our behind the scenes
for the Napa video.
For the Napa video, but he started asking about. So Martin asked, what if a customer has an idea they are stuck on, say a terrible gag that you know just won't work or will come across wrong? How do you handle that?
I saw your question, Kyle. We'll get to it.
Oh, cool.
Kyle has a question.
Oh, it's a great question. Okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave a quick answer in the comments to Martin, but that's a common problem where you're working with a client and you're working on an idea with them. And maybe, so there's obviously a back and forth. There's what they want to communicate. And in any creative endeavor, this is an issue. So, for example, I'm sure you've seen, print ads in the back of magazines like Videographer or whatever, or any kind of anything. You'll see ads that are really simple and beautiful and great and right to the point. And then you see other ones where it's got their URL and the phone number and the address, and it has 2 or 3 taglines, and eventually you can't even see the image that's behind it. That's the
Yeah.
service or the product, because the client wants to just get everything in there. So and when I worked at an agency, there were account managers and there were strategists and all that worked with the client mainly to, try to get the client to work with them. That is, realize that we know what's best for you. That's why you hired us.
Right.
Let us do it. So. The tough part here, so what I do generally, where like if a client wants to, I keep thinking of the example of, they always make fun of in movies is the used car salesman ads,
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, where they do crazy stuff, and it's just kind of like, oh my God, really? So the solution really is you have to work with the client, and what I do is I don't say, you know what, I think that's I don't put it down, and it's kind of like a thing we do creatively anyways, is you never want to say no. You want to build off of what they said. And so I always give a different suggestion. I said, okay, well, what if we did this? Like, what is the intent? So if the client says, I want to do this corny thing, then I'm like, God, that's going to be really dumb. I think, well, what's behind the lines? Why? What is the result they want to produce?
Right.
So when someone's watching it, they're going to like them more, be entertained or whatever. And I might sometimes ask them, well, why is it you want to do that? Like, what are you trying to do?
Right.
Because sometimes the focus isn't on the customer, that is the viewer, the potential customer. It's more on them. They want people to like them.
Right.
They want to do something cool so they can get chicks or whatever. Like, hey man, I made a commercial. So you have to kind of do a little, it's not psychology, but you just have to figure out, well, what's the real intent? And then you tell them, well, actually, I think it would be better to do, this is what I think would work better. And if they still don't get it, then you get to the point where you just kind of tell them, well, look, here's the problem.
You're an idiot.
You're an idiot. What are you thinking? We're professionals.
No.
Leave.
You can think you're an idiot, but...
You'll damage people with that comedy.
But you actually execute it the way Frank says too.
And a great example is there was a strategist that I worked with and a client. We were working on a website, the preliminary website for a huge client. Mm-hmm. And the UX, and so he told them, look, at this certain point, people are getting frustrated. They're going to get stuck. And they're like, good, they're spending more time on my website. And I never had an answer for that.
Wow.
Well, his reply was great. He goes, right, they're frustrated on your website, meaning that frustration is now associated with your branding.
Website. Right.
Is that what you want? And they were like, oh. So he basically told them, here's the result. You don't want that result, do you? Because we already knew from preliminary work with them what the real result is that they want. Yeah.
We have a few people, and we also have a beach ball.
Oh, Golly's here.
Yeah. No, there it is.
Okay.
I think we got stuck for a second. We have a few people. Let me move over to this. Golly's here. James is here. James wants to ask. Where is James?
Oh, James is here.
Yeah, James is here. He said, "How can we get more of that hunky Asian guy?"
Yeah, that hunky Asian actor. What's his name? Oh, wait, that's James.
That's James. I think we need to answer Kyle's question.
We do. Before that, real quick. Oh, no. Okay, never mind. No, go ahead. So Golly, hey to Golly.
Yep.
Golly is our other editor, and she's awesome, and she's great After Effects.
Yeah, she's the only one that we
as
would
well.
right now that we trust with a Pull My Focus episode.
Yeah.
Like you could literally just hand it to her and
That'd be
she
great.
executes it just in the way that we like, and so that's it.
Cool.
So
Kyle's,
he wants to know our backstories.
What is our backstory?
It's on the website.
It's on the website. It's really.
I don't like telling my backstory. You tell yours. I'll tell mine.
Okay. Well, I'll tell together. So we
At the same time.
You notice how he answered he finished my sentence. I've been in the film biz since 1987. I was in film school, but the first year I was already working as a grip because at that point, and in the 90s I worked as a grip, dolly grip, cranes, all that kind of stuff. I did a little bit of lighting and a little bit of sound, but eventually it was gripping that I did. And then I started becoming a first assistant director, first AD. But in 1994, I started publishing a trade magazine called Film Crew that was all about the process of filmmaking from the crew.
Too bad you don't have a magazine here.
I don't have.
You don't have a.
They're all tucked away somewhere over there. I'd have to run into another room. Maybe I'll grab one during a break. No. But anyways, yeah, so
I met you when you were doing Film Crew.
So he met me.
Yeah.
When we were
I went up to his office at Film Crew.
Yeah, we had an office, a really small one for two people, right off of Union Square in New York. But that was great, and we published that for I think it was close to 6 to 8 years or so. But it was we had subscribers all over the world, and we had a lot of technical stuff. And so a lot of what I learned to do there, not only business but the actual instructions and how to, explain complicated stuff, is what we bring to bear here and what we do in Pull My Focus. And then we've done other things together. And then in the late 90s, we also were doing swing dancing. So we have an organization called Yehudi that's going to be 20 years old in October. And we had huge, big jazz legends we were able to sort of bring out of retirement, play for dancers, like the Basie Centennial. We had over 1,500 people from all over the world. And was it Witten that stopped by?
Winton came by.
Just dropping names.
Bobby McFerrin came by, and we had a bunch of. If you're a jazz head, you'll know
But we had all that. But also in the late 90s, we were big computer gamers, and we were playing Quake. And so in 97, we started making animation with Quake, and so we were one of the pioneers of what's called machinima animation. We're
not the machinima site that exists now.
Yeah,
that's garbage.
Is it?
Sorry, I'm gonna say it. Yeah, it's not what we.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing
it's
anymore.
It's just the name now. It's
the name. It's just other. But and there we were using computer game engines to render 3D animation in real time, because otherwise, as you know, with Pixar and all that, it takes forever. It can take a day sometimes to render a frame, let alone a second. So computer game engines in real time. So that's basically. And then you were doing audio. So he was doing audio and sound engineer. And
go ahead, keep telling my backstory.
Videos. Well, because you don't want to tell it, so I'll tell it for you.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've a background in audio engineering. I ran a recording studio in Brooklyn for a couple years, doing radio edits and rap demos and jazz. Actually, jazz stuff was fun. That was the most fun. And blah, 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 blah. And a lot of sampling and a lot of... when that was big.
When that was like the thing.
I dabbled in video for a really long time. Doing stuff mostly for the Yehudi site that he mentioned the thing that we started. And I got into editing full time when I started doing. We produced a show called Swing Nation, which was a live show, shot twice a week, once every weekly. That's the word.
Yeah.
But then that's when I got into like Final Cut. So I was using. Actually, I started with iMovie. Right.
Oh wow.
I started with iMovie, and I got into that, and then I moved over to Final Cut, and then once Final Cut kind of turned into 10, and people kind of left Final Cut, I got into Premiere.
So when I moved out here, he's like, "Hey, you can help me set this up." So we rigged.
Right.
We had small camcorders. We had 3.
Oh, that was great. Yeah, I always tell people when they meet us, I go, well, one of us has gone to film school. And that was him. And so we wanted to do this show, and I just said, hey, Frank, you know how to do lights, and you know cameras and all this stuff. So I was just like, can you come in and just build it? And of course he's going to do it. So we had a 4-camera setup.
Oh, it was 4?
We had 3 hanging from the ceiling
and one
for each single, because we had three hosts.
It was
single.
It was in the basement of a coffee shop, in the Mission District in San Francisco.
That our buddy
So we had to be able to, every 2 weeks, set it up very quickly.
We had to break it down and set it up, and then Frank came up with the whole thing, and we used this. It was amazing.
I used hinges.
You can actually see it.
And then I had threaded rods, so they swung up into the ceiling, and we Velcroed them, and then they would hang down.
That was so
we would
awesome.
lock them in place, and then the cameras, and they already had the mount, so we just mounted the camera on them, so it would just become a little studio.
Yeah, and can you imagine? We had these cheap $200 Canon. Oh my God, these little tiny cameras hooked up. It's all analog. Mm-hmm. All these analog cables go across the ceiling into this little patch bay, and then a switcher, a roll-in switcher.
Yeah,
like the best cut it had was like a cross dissolve of like a second. It was amazing. Anyway, that's our backgrounds, kind of, sort of.
But they are. It is pretty. Are we pronouncing your name right? Antwi?
Antwi?
Antwi? Are we pronouncing your name right?
Wow,
but yes.
Experiences.
Yeah. We. I mean, there's even more than that. Championship.
Final Cut Pro 5, 6, 7 were my jam. Yeah. And after 7, what happened?
But now I'm hearing.
Now I'm hearing it's like
people
huge
are, on
now.
11.
Yeah.
People are going. They're Final Cut 11. They're going back to it and all that, and it's like.
I got no problem with whatever editor you want. I mean, use HitFilm. Use friggin' DaVinci. Use Resolve. People are cutting in Resolve. That's free.
And that's free. But for us, we like that. We want the whole suite because we're using Photoshop, we're using
Illustrator,
After Effects, we're using Illustrator.
Yeah. I'm using Audition all the time.
Yeah.
And there might be one or two other outliers of those Adobe products that we use. So.
Did you have a question that someone had that you wanted to?
I think maybe.
Or someone had something from Faraway Video, Faraway Audio.
Well, they saw the Faraway Audio one and they just liked it.
Oh, okay.
But they said it took too long to get to.
Someone just 18 seconds before we start. Really good. Took 7 minutes for you to answer my question, which we're really good about not doing gratuitous intros, but our opening intros, we want it to be fun.
My open had my kid in it, man.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
How can you diss that?
You know how long it takes me?
Where his kid had to go pee-pee.
Yeah. I get 10 minutes out of Micah. He's 8. I get 10 minutes of attention out of him, and then it becomes a shit show. Like, you cannot, he won't stand still. He's like, he wants to do it, but he wants to go play, Overwatch.
But actually, so here's the point that he does bring up. So the thing is on YouTube is we need to, the way it is, you have to entertain people. And you then have to give the info. If you just give rote info, it's just not going to work. It gets boring. And it doesn't mean go on for too long. I mean, but that's what we're going to be doing on Udemy and Skillshare and whatnot, is getting to it. It's more of, it's not necessarily a lecture, but it's more of step by step by step by step, and adding a little bit of entertainment, not as much as we do here. I mean, to be honest, sometimes what we'd really like to do is have a skit one week that's like an ongoing series, and then the following week do the behind the scenes, or here's the lesson that we used in that one.
Yeah,
or even do 2 a week.
Yeah,
That'd be great. We do more Agent Dellario and Agent Smith.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring them back.
By the way, if you hear a lot of construction, it's because the house next to Frank's
Damien's
house.
here.
This is Frank's
Yeah.
house. They're doing
construction. It's not sound effects that we're adding, or is it? Hey, Damien, welcome. Damien Fate. No one knows what his real name is, or maybe that is his real name. Damien, now I don't know. But 10 years ago, and so we did he's an amazing graphic artist and 3D
wow, really?
designer. Yeah, and he did a lot of stuff we did.
I've met this guy?
No, he lives in the middle of nowhere in Idaho. But he's from England. He's got one of them fancy accents. But Damien's awesome and did a lot of stuff with us when we were at Ilklan and when we were Electric Sheep, doing virtual world stuff, Second Life, all kinds. That's the other thing we've done, virtual worlds. We used to do live animated shows. We did at the New York Video Festival.
We didn't pronounce his name at all correctly.
Oh no.
Nice,
well, tell us.
Nice
Oh,
try.
You got to tell us. Oh man.
Give us the phonetics.
Give us the phonetics, please.
In the chat.
Oh.
Kyle says, "I wish I would have connected with you guys during my time in LA, but we're in San Francisco."
Yeah, where are you now, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, now there's a 16-second delay, and then we have to wait. It's like talking to someone an astronaut on the moon or something.
Yeah.
And you have to wait.
By the way, this is not an endorsement, but caffeine.tv is awesome.
Yeah, there's no
delay on caffeine.tv, but it's not YouTube. It's for gamers. It's just for gamers to stream games.
Can we record off of that and put it on? No.
No, they don't allow you to record on
Oh,
caffeine.
man.
Yeah.
Well, how... BHM /ATL.
What does that mean?
Oh, you're
Really?
DP... Oh, you're on a long-term... No, that's what the gig was. Okay, Kyle. Is long-term DP gig. Is what you have.
So Kyle's a DP?
I don't know, I guess.
Cool. Kyle, what's the difference between a DP and a cinematographer?
Yeah.
Please let me know. Maybe he knows. I don't know.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Atlanta.
Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama.
All the okay, cool.
The ATL, baby.
Dude,
are you on Peachtree and Peachtree? Because I know where you live. Every street is Peachtree in it.
Actually, a Deke. Oh, I'm forgetting his last name. He was a juicer buddy that I used to work with back in the '90s, and he's now he's a camera operator, and he's one of the main camera operator on The Walking Dead, and he lives in Georgia too. And
that's where they shoot. They shoot Walking Dead in
Georgia.
In Georgia.
Yeah, where it's hot, humid, and there's a lot of skeeters. And and sidewalks are made out of cement.
Here we go.
Wow. Let's see. So another thing we want to talk about. Yeah. So I looked at the name. So Mode. Saab asked, please make a video on being a director. That is how to collaborate with a cinematographer and decide on a shot list from a script. So I'm definitely doing more a video on that. And but one thing I'll talk about right off the bat is when you bring someone else onto your team, regardless of what they're doing, but particularly a cinematographer. If you're used to shooting yourself, you're now bringing on someone that is now bringing their own creative input and eye. And so there's two important things going on there. There's all the technical things, and then there's the creative. And so the technical is they're going to handle that for you. How to, like if I'm operating for someone and bringing the camera, I'm handling all of those problems and all of the kind of stuff. I might make suggestions like, I think the shot should be wider, or the eye lines and things like that. But when it comes to before that, shot lists, there's technical and creative aspects of working with a director on shot lists. So for example, it could be a technical where you have a shot where you have two people. It's what we call a walk and talk. They're walking and talking to each other, walking down a sidewalk. And let's say it's 5 pages long. And the director's like, I want to, 3/4 follow them as they're walking. And do that for a whole shot. And then we'll shoot singles of each one so we can cut back and forth. And so one of the first things the DP might say is, okay, great. So, well, here's the one problem we have is the truck that we've got only has 5 lengths of dolly track, and each length is 8 feet long. So that's kind of a problem. We can't do a shot that long. Like, you have to start getting creative. So now it's like you need to bring in a Steadicam, or you need to. So it's problem solving. So part of it is I have a vision as a director, and I want this. And then the technical input is that's going to be a problem given our budget or the equipment we have. The other input is creative. The DP might say, I worked on this other film where one thing that worked really well was to have Steadicam or a camera on a gimbal looking right into both of them as we walked backwards. Or you would walk to the side, but you're looking at them, and the DP might say, look, my feeling is, given the dialogue, it would make more sense. It also might be, we need them to stop every now and then on a piece of dialogue so that it makes it easier for us to shoot. And it sounds like, well, you're compromising, but it's just the nature of the beast. They're the things that you have to do. Another thing to do ahead of time with a DP, and this would happen a lot on, we would even be in a van driving from New York City to the location for a music video or a commercial. And the director would have a collage with them. They basically were cutting pictures out of magazines and gluing them onto board and making what's called a mood board. And we'll show you an example. That would be one of those 2 links. So you might have a particular look that you're like, this is how I would like this film to look. And so today you wouldn't cut them out of a magazine, but you would, find images online or grab screen captures from films and things that you like and put them together. And so the purpose of the mood board, so here's an example here.
Well, they can't see.
Oh, they can't see it?
I'll let them see in a second.
It's a way to show a director a mood, a feeling that you think would be the best to fulfill your vision for your film or for this project for a client or whatever it is. And now it also helps, it's a visual, you're communicating with the DP visually. And this way they can start to see, okay, tell you what's possible or not, make certain suggestions. And so really all it is images, and it doesn't have to be a screenshot from a movie. It can be from a commercial. It could be not from a film at all. It could be from print, a fashion magazine where there was a still photographer took that there was something about it that you really liked.
Sorry about that. That was a bit big.
If you can, you can't zoom in on that, huh?
No,
on the website.
To it. Yeah, this thing right here.
Yeah. So this is an example of a mood board where what you see is, so there's definitely a feeling that they have of blue, a lot of it seems to be night and interiors, but it's very moody.
What's the difference between a mood board and like what we call like a style sheet or whatever?
They're kind of the same. So it's another way is a style sheet where you're saying, look, this is the style and things that we want to do. A style sheet sometimes can come after where you've actually already shot tests. And so you know that, okay, and stay on this for a second. One thing too from here is, what you also notice, it's contrasty. So the DP would say, okay, great, would work with the gaffer, now figure out, okay, here's the ratio. We want to shoot at a 4 or 6-to-1 ratio for these particular sets of scenes. And they know what gels they want to get, and they would probably shoot tests. And then those tests would become the style sheet, just like you would have a style sheet for a brand or a client,
right.
Where you can only use these color palettes on our website or on our commercials and stuff like that. And then there's that one other board, but I think that's a good example.
All right.
Yeah, time. Yeah. So let's go back and see if we have any other questions. we got a spinning ball.
Oh wow. Look at
Okay.
This looks crazy.
Oh wow, the screen's doing weird stuff.
Yeah. See if I can rescue it. Remove that window capture and get rid of Brave. I just used Brave, the browser, the new Brave browser, and I think it didn't like my computer.
No.
We have
let's
anything
go-
else?
Yes, go. There's some questions or comments.
You know, Manu, the name is of, oh, yeah, Ghanaian origin. Your name or my name?
Oh, I think his name. Okay.
Yeah, his name.
Well, what I started doing is now, like for I had to do it for Mood, is actually type the name online and go how to pronounce.
Oh, we do that all the time. Hey, Mr. Jesse. Yeah.
Oh, so we talk about I find on Facebook pages there's a lot of filmmakers from Africa looking to,
Oh, really?
it's a definite burgeoning indie scene. The thing is I mean, Africa's it's a continent. It's huge.
My name. You're talking about my name.
Oh, your name is. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, my name. Let's not interrupt that for a second. So there's a lot. You said you find there's a lot of
I'm seeing it. I don't know.
African.
A lot of
people
African
in Africa.
A lot of African independent filmmakers or content creators and all that on Facebook who are coming into various boards that we're in, who are joining the community. Now they may have been a community for quite a while there, and I don't know.
Right.
And like I said, I mean the United States and Russia and all these places, all of Europe can fit in Africa. Africa is such a huge continent, and there's a lot going on there that's awesome, and we're going to hear more and more about it. That's for sure.
Do you guys think you want us to teach lessons to Africa? Filmmakers?
Online lessons. That's
Online
what we're
lessons,
working on.
maybe?
We're going to do some live lessons too. We're working on that as well.
We can do live lessons?
A live lesson. What we're doing for the Udemy course, we're going to do live as well. Probably once a week, like a 1 hour, 2 hour course. That'll be.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So like kind of like a webinar, but it's live. Right. We can answer questions, but we're going to go through a syllabus.
Right. We should talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's further down the road.
Yeah. So are we at over half hour?
Yeah, we've killed a half hour. Maybe we'll go another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We can call it. Let's stop streaming.
I'm gonna have to just end it there.
Well, we should at least I could probably in post put an ending on it. Oh, we're back.
Okay.
All right.
Wireless follow focus. Great idea.
Yeah.
I guess we're back.
Yeah.
Can someone let us know if we're back?
Damien said, I figured you just ended because half an hour was up.
Yeah, we're done.
I think we have smoother endings than that usually.
Oh wait, I have to.
What do you have? You have one more thing for us?
Well, yeah, because. All right, that's
You have to slate a live stream again.
Shot 1, take 2.
Where's the old school one? Don't you have an old school slate?
I do, but we're in a new world, man.
Yeah.
Okay, we're back. So.
Yeah, so I guess once again, I'm going to hit that, remember, patreon.com/pullmyfocus. We love, your support if you care to give. Otherwise, you're still going to get Pull My Focus for free. Don't worry about it. But, yeah, help us out.
Stuff.
Help a brother out, you know what I mean? I got 2 kids. He's got a cat.
And I want to say, and thanks, you're welcome, but we don't have to pronounce your name.
I know.
We're going to say Ernest.
Ernest.
We're going to find out.
Mr.
We're
Ernest.
going to find out. But yeah, and then great question about wireless follow focus, because one of the issues that we run into here is exactly that. Like is how to have, we're running multiple hats, so how to have a unit that somebody could be controlling off to the side to actually, pull focus and look at it.
Yeah.
From my experience, they're great, but they're expensive, and But it's what we're starting to look at that. We're starting to also look at LED light panels now. We've actually built our own, but we're starting to look at more. The prices have really started to coming down, and you can get a small unit. I'm forgetting the brand, but it's like $185, and it puts out if it's full daylight versus bicolor. This LED panel puts out, I think it's 5 by 10 inches, like
5K.
Five. You get 400. Basically, it gives you 400 and some odd foot candles. So I don't know what it would be in lumens, but we're talking. I mean, I could shoot at an f11 if it's 3 feet away.
Give me this. This is hardcore fucking filmmaker right here.
I got that.
Okay.
1987, I bought that. That's my Sekonic light meter, and they still make it.
I don't even know what this means, and you're not gonna explain it right now. I'm not gonna let you. He's gonna do a video about it.
That's me. I still have the case. I still have the case.
All right.
The case for it. All right.
All right.
Okay. Any other? Oh.
Anything else? Hope to catch more live streams. Really enjoyed. Now Frank's getting a phone call. Passion and humor. He loves our passion, our humor. Even if I'm not actually pursuing learning how to direct, keep up the awesome work. Thank you so much, Damien.
Thank
you're
you.
Awesome.
And you're awesome.
That means a lot to us.
And if you're into Minecraft, check out Damien's. He's got a lot of followers.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You showed me.
He
This stuff is
redoes the story mode because the guy's talented. He can't not be doing something cool. So check out Damien's Fates channel. And by the way, you guys, you can in the thing you can right click on the chat. You can right click or left click on anyone's name, and you can go check out their channels. And if they don't have stuff, you could see what they follow and all that fun stuff. Cool. Well, thank you guys.
Yep. Lunchtime.
And we're going to try to keep this up once a month, at least alive if we can. Yeah. And and it's lunch.
All right.
All right.
Tail slate.
Tail slate.
Upside down. I knew it was going to.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.